I'm here today at the Nenana Depot, and right now I'm going to be talking with Gary. He is a member of the Friends of the Tanana Valley Railroad, which the organization has now taken over custodianship of the Nenana Depot. How are you doing today, Gary?
No, I'm doing great.
So what's going on here?
Well, we're in the midst of remodeling the station as much as possible with the funds we have. We're going to put in a museum in the back area, and in the lobby area we'll be putting in a gift shop, I guess you'd call it. And then we have 4 bedrooms upstairs, which we're going to turn into a B&B. So folks that are railroad buffs can come by and spend the night and enjoy watching the Alaska Railroad go back and forth in between Fairbanks and Anchorage.
Wow, that's really cool. A B&B upstairs. So you're with the Friends of the Tanana Valley Railroad. How long have you been a member?
24 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've been there pretty much since the beginning.
Pretty much. Yeah, I enjoyed helping rebuild steam locomotive we have up in Fairbanks, our H.K. Porter, built in 1899, which we maintain and service for and run for the borough, no cost to the borough, because of our organization. Maintains everything and gets grants and gifts and stuff to take care of the locomotive for the borough. The first locomotive in the area started out in town of Chena, which is just down from Fairbanks about 6 miles on the Tanana River. So, and we had 17 miles of track to begin with. And then we went out as far as Chattanooga and all the way down here to Nenana, which actually ended up across the river because we didn't have the Mears Bridge built until 1923. So what they'd do is they would ferry goods from here across the river to the railroad, and then in the winter time they'd actually lay tracks across the frozen ice there, or frozen ice, and pick up the goods on this side of the river, and then go back up to Fairbanks with all the goods. So it's pretty vigorous activities.
It's amazing what kind of accomplishments were made during that time. And it's for folks watching this, it's going to be 100 years here pretty soon for the completion of the Alaska Railroad.
Yeah.
It's the 98th year this year. So can you give me a little bit of history on the depot for those who are not familiar with the Alaska Railroad or the Nenana Depot?
The Nenana Depot was built, I believe, in 1920, and actually this is the only one that hasn't burnt down, as far as I know. Fairbanks had 3 of them that burnt down. This one in the 1930s had bedrooms put upstairs for the station master and his family. I understand Harding stayed in one of the rooms at one point, and he was up here putting the golden spike in the rails once the Mears Bridge was developed. It worked all the way up into the 60s with freight and giving passengers a place to catch the train. Then it's been pretty much dormant ever since, other than a gift shop, a museum. And so anyway, the Friends of the Tanana Valley Railroad thought we'd try to help out and preserve some of our railroad history before it completely went away, and that's what we're planning on doing with the railroad depot right now. Just refurbish it as much as we can. Basically looking for donations, grants, and different things to help preserve it. That's our quest for right now.
Well, this is certainly an amazing piece of railroad history. As far as I know, there's only 4 original Alaska Railroad depots left, and this is the only one that is in proximity to the railroad track. So it's pretty neat, and it still looks pretty original from photographs from the period. So how can people get involved if they're wanting to get involved? Let's say you're in the area and maybe you want to volunteer, or maybe for those that can help out by contributing some donations.
Well, the best way to probably get on our web page, which is the Friends of the Nenana Valley Railroad .com, has all the information on what we're doing down here and also up in Fairbanks at Pioneer Park, where we have the steam locomotive located at. Or they can stop by. We usually have a sign, a welcoming sign out by the front door when we're here, and more than welcome to come in anytime. Although we're not really open, but we're open, at least to help people understand what we're doing down here. And also, if you want to work down here or whatever, we do have a form that we have you fill out so that you're covered by insurance and that sort of thing. Yeah, most everything's on the website, so it'll be the best way to contact us and any donations or anything else that you want to give us.
And can you give us the name of that website one more time, since there was traffic for those that are not familiar? That's the town of Nenana right there, so if you heard some traffic, that's why we're right on the street.
As the Friends of the Nenana Valley Railroad .com, we do have websites up, and I think we're on Twitter and the other factors that go along with the internet.
All right, well, let's take a brief look on the inside for folks, just so they can get an idea. And the reason why we did this outside is because there's not a lot inside, so you can hear echoes pretty well, and I didn't want that to screw up with what we were talking about. So here we are, folks. The inside of the historic Nenana Depot.
Yes, there was quite a bit of plaster work to be done throughout the years. We've had a lot of cracks. So we've finished all the plaster, just got it repainted, worked on some of the woodwork, stripped down the bench over here, and restained it, revarnished that. The original bench, about 25 feet long. Repainted the floors, just trying to clean it up and make it presentable.
And you said that your group's having discussions with the railroad on potentially making this a flag stop place again?
We're looking at a year, maybe 2 years out before we have the railroad stopping here. Actually, you can stop here if you buy a ticket and ask them to stop here. They will stop here, they'll pick you up and deliver you to Nenana. But they haven't confirmed a good price to do that. Right now the price is, you buy a ticket in Fairbanks and the ticket is good all the way to Nenana. So we're still working on a few things here.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see that the Nenana Depot is getting some love. I know there's a few people in the Alaska Railroad fans, historian world that were a little concerned that this building would be put into disrepair. So, folks, there's Nenana right there. And there is the main line. And maybe you can see out there, you see the colorful ribbon going out to a strange looking structure on the ice. That is part of the Nenana Ice Classic. That's a tripod. So maybe here in a few years when the B&B opens up, you can get yourself a ticket on the train and a ticket for the Nenana Ice Classic, and maybe you'll get to watch the tripod fall in, and you might be the lucky winner.
The B&B will be open later on in May.
May of this year.
May of this year.
All right. And you can check out the website here.
Friends of the Town of Valley Railroad.com.
There you go, folks. Check it out. Well, thank you so much for your time and providing this information on this historic building.
No, you're more than welcome, and come back again and visit when we're up and running.
Will do. Thank you.